Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our brothers and sisters in Islam. تقبل الله منا ومنكم وعيد مبارك علينا وعليكم. May Allah accept inshallah your deed and accept our deed inshallah. It's almost 2 weeks after Ramadan. I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to accept it from us inshallah and forgive us and release ourselves from the hellfire. And as you know, brothers and sisters, Ramadan is intensive course and lots of work. And as you seen and as you felt and as you experienced by yourself, that you put lots of effort and you wake up in the night, you pray your prayer, Qiyamul Layl, Taraweeh, and witr, you fast the whole day, you do lots of charity and remembering Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Quran. May Allah accept that. And then after Ramadan, you feel you need actually rest and break. And people sometimes they feel a little bit they have that kind of anxiety that's, we're not doing very well, and to be honest, it is absolutely normal sometimes when you come back to the normal routine and you just settle down with the life, because this is the nature of Ramadan. It is occasion, and you actually try your best to utilize your time and to get inshallah more reward from Allah Azza wa Jalla, and then you go back to the normal. But I mean to the normal ibadah, and you keep and maintain your dhikr and your ibadah and your prayers as well, and the other recommended fasting as well after Ramadan. And to be honest as well, the shaitan, he works so hard as well after Ramadan. He wants to take whatever we gain during Ramadan from us. And that's what we need to be alert about. And this is my reminder regarding this matter. One of the scholars called Sheikh Muhammad al-Safarini al-Hanbali, rahmatullah alayhi, he wrote a small booklet and called it Al-Husun al-Khamsa, the 5 castles and palaces. And he meant the 5 palaces which is protect you from the shaitan and from his strike. So this is his chance now to fight back, and then we need to protect ourselves from the shaitan and from his whispers and from his thoughts. And that's why the Sheikh, he advised us to have that 5 castles or palaces, shield ourselves from the shaitan and from his strike. And these 5 palaces, he mentioned at the beginning, it's made from gold, silver, steel, and wood, and then mud. But in reality, he talked about the real castles and palaces you prepare to face the shaitan and his strikes and to protect and shield yourself from him. It is actually the furthest one. He called it al-yaqeen, the certainty and the faith. The next one, it's al-ikhlas, the sincerity. And then the third one, al-fara'id, the obligatory acts, the 5 daily prayers and so on, the obligatory acts. And then the 4th one, as-sunan, the recommended acts of worship, from the sunnah prayers, from the sadaqah, charity, remembering Allah, and so on. And then the furthest one, it is al-akhlaq, the manners. And these 5 castles is surrounding each other, and you are in the middle. And ideally, the first and the furthest palace and castle surrounding the other castles, which is the manners, it should be the strongest one. Because if it failed in front of the shaitan, then it will be easier for him to go through the 2nd one, 3rd one, 4th one, and so on. So we should look after our furthest castle and palace and the wall of it and the shield of it, and make it the strongest one, which is the manners, the etiquette, the way you behave with people. If you remember the hadith of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when the companions mentioned 2 women in front of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, And they said the first one, she is praying and worshipping Allah a lot, but she harming her neighbors. Then Prophet Muhammad said, Hiya fi nar, she is in the hellfire. And then the other woman was mentioned in the front of Prophet Muhammad she is praying her fara'id, but she is kind and she is peace and doesn't harm her neighbors and the people around her. And Prophet Muhammad said, Hiya fil Jannah, she is in paradise. So the manners, sometimes we think the way we talk to our neighbors, the way we talk to our parents, our brothers and sisters, and the people around us, it doesn't bother us because we are Muslims, we worship in Allah, and we have the correct faith. This doesn't benefit you in the Day of Judgment. When you think like that, it is very concerning if people, they think because they hold in Islam they are better than others, they are in the hellfire and we are in paradise. Who give you the guarantee that you are in paradise and they are in the hellfire? They might doesn't worship Allah Azza wa Jal until just before they die. They accepted Islam and Allah Azza wa Jal replaced their whole sins to hasanat. And who knows? We are in Islam, we don't know if we actually gonna end our life with Islam or not. There is no guarantee. So that means you cannot even judge people around you. And you cannot actually assume that you're in the good side and they are in the evil and the bad side all the way. Because it's not in your hand and it's not in our hands. So the manners, it has to be the strongest palace and castle. And the wall, it has to be so solid and strong front of the shaitan strike and his whispers and so on. And as you know, brothers and sisters, al-akhlaq, it take you to the highest level of the best worshippers in the Day of Judgment, as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned in the hadith. Indeed, the one who has the good characters and manners, he will reach the level of as-sa'im al-qa'im, the one who fasts all the time and the one who praying qiyamul layl all the night. Can you imagine? With the good manners. Good manners, it will give you guarantee that you will have a house in paradise. So the manners, the way you behave with people, it is really important. And it doesn't matter if you are a highly scholar with lots of knowledge and lots of ibadah for yourself, but the way you deal with people is deceiving or betraying people. It puts you so down, it make you so down in your level in the sight of Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is the first and the furthest castle. It should be so strong. And then the second one, as-sunnah. So after Ramadan, sometimes we relax and then we leave our sunnah. We used to pray even extra, not even the normal sunnah, extra sunnahs during Ramadan. And then sometimes we feel we've done something good in Ramadan, then we don't need to pray Salat al-Sunnah before Dhuhr and after Dhuhr, Salat al-Sunnah after Maghrib, and Salat al-Sunnah before Fajr, and Salat al-Sunnah and Witr after Isha. Be aware that the Sunnah, it is the protection for the palace and the castle inside, which is al-fara'id. If you lose the Sunnahs, you will end up to find yourself losing even your faridah and the obligatory act of worship. So be aware about this. It has to be very strong as well. And then if you go further to the third one, which is al-fara'id, the compulsory, amongst the compulsory act of worship, and amongst these compulsory as well, there is certain way dealing with people is compulsory. You have to be honest with people, it's compulsory on you. You have to be loyal to your fellow Muslims. You have to be obedient to your parents. These, all of it, compulsory act of our behavior. As well, if you go back, al-ikhlas and sincerity. It is the most important conditions to have that kind of sincerity, to get that kind of sweetness and acceptance from Allah Azza wa Jal and the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. And then go back to the first and the deepest one, which is the faith in your heart and al-yaqeen, certainty that Allah Azza wa Jal exists and He's your Lord and He's the only worthy of worship, and so on. So brothers and sisters, let us build these 5 castles to protect ourselves from the shaitan, inshaAllah, and carry on with our life and with our worship, inshaAllah, until we meet Allah Azza wa Jal. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.